If your team got guaranteed money, tell them call me.
Whoop. Make me say, my.
I done been around the world. Yeah, I was made for this.
Player Performance with J.A. Cavalier.
Welcome back to another episode of Player Performance. I am your favorite capper, J.A. Cavalier. Do us a favor, go ahead, smash the like button. Appreciation is always appreciated. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Now go ahead and subscribe. We do this every week. We do it for free. We do it out of love for the community. We have a gift card to give away from last week. I'm going to announce the winner a little bit later on. Also, guys, you want to participate in this week? We are giving away three. Not one, not two, but three $200 Amazon gift cards. It's simple. All you have to do is like, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. The best comments will win a $200 Amazon gift card. In the season of giving, the spirit of giving, I'm giving away three this week. That's right, three $200 Amazon gift cards. We're going to get to NFL Week 13 in just a sec. But first, let's recap Week 12 with Tessa Hall.
Back it up.
One more time.
All right, let's see that again.
Here's your NFL Week 12 recap. Jameis Christ has risen in the snow. He truly is an angel. Sorry, Steelers. What happened to CJ Stroud? To get beat by Will Levis is bench-worthy. The Bears have to be the first team in history to break their fans' hearts 5 consecutive weeks in a row. The Commanders reportedly dishonorably discharged their kicker for missing the extra point on the coolest game-tying touchdown ever. Tell your friends, Tua is absolutely back, and the Dolphins are about to make a push for the postseason. The NFL must pay the Chiefs to keep it close and interesting and then assure them they will win in the end. Baker Mayfield doing the cutlet celebrations in New York? Giants fans are down so bad. Anthony Richardson got his first taste of the Lions' defense, and it went about as you would expect. Bo Nix is officially my Rookie of the Year favorite. Dude continues to torch defenses. Arizona had 1 week as the best team in the NFC West before they threw up all over themselves and scored 6 on Seattle. The 49ers are dead. Throw in the towel. Shut down the vets. This was ugly in Green Bay. Saquon Barkley is not human. The Giants have to be ready to fire everyone. Had the Chargers receivers not dropped 1,000 passes, Jim Harbaugh would have maybe beat his brother for the first time in an NFL game. That's your NFL Week 12 recap.
That's right. My Monday night game of the year just cashed. We had the Baltimore Ravens in that game. My Monday night game of the year. While everybody else on YouTube was touting to take the Chargers plus the points, trying to be contrarian, not yours truly. Yours truly took the sharp angle, the only angle that really mattered, and that, of course, was the winner. So this is the Thanksgiving edition. Thankful for a lot this year. Obviously, my family, but that doesn't even have to go. That goes without saying, right? It's always family first. Not thankful for the NBA. My NBA has been absolutely getting smashed. You guys know I'm always going to keep it 100 for you guys. Always be completely transparent. The NBA has been trashed, and because of that, we're actually going to start the NBA Player Performance Edition next week on Monday. I'll start doing that. Believe it or not, this show helps me break down, helps me get into the process. So maybe that's one of the reasons why the NFL has been straight fire throughout the season. We do this every week. And of course, I'm thankful for you guys, the community that I've built. You guys have no idea just how much you guys really mean. And look, I'm Italian, so it's always family first. And then, of course, I'm from New York, so you have your extended family, the 2 or 3 different mothers that you had sitting on the stoops. For you guys who live in the sticks or the suburbs, you may not know what stoops are. They're basically concrete fucking porches, which is how we grew up. That was my neighborhood, Astoria, Queens. Growing up, you always had 2 or 3 sitting on a stoop somewhere watching over all the young thugs and hooligan kids running around the neighborhood. You guys are my extended community. That's what you guys are. And you helped me through quite a deal last year. You helped in the healing process when I lost my brother. Just a bunch of people outpouring and reaching out and talking it through of their experiences or shared similar experiences. And it means a lot. You guys don't know how much it means. And that's why on Thanksgiving Day, I made sure that I took this time to get into the office to record this episode for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys do rely on this for your handicap or just basically tail the picks. And either way, there's nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to make sure you guys know that your appreciation really is appreciated. And we are very, very thankful for you guys, the entire Wiley's team. The love you guys have shown Luke, and give me props. The love you guys have shown Coach Rick Bowe, the love you guys have shown Les, Punchy, Neil McDonald, though I don't think they celebrate Thanksgiving in Ireland. It's all right. From us to you, very, very, very happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I hope you guys have a lot to be thankful for. If you watched the show last week, you did have a lot to be thankful for. We made money. Of course, the top play on the show last week didn't cash, but pretty much everything else did. But look, this is what we do, right? Every day we wake up today, we strive to be better than yesterday. And that's what we're striving for here this week, where we're trying to be better this week than we were last week. So here it is, NFL Week 13, player performance, locked, loaded, ready to roll. Let's go.
Chargers versus Falcons.
Chargers are laying 2. The total here is at 48. And guys, you have to take the Chargers in this spot. Look, you're getting a good coach off a nationally televised bad loss to the Ravens. We, of course, were on the Ravens, our Monday night game of the year. But look, the Falcons right now, they're just mediocre. And mediocre at best. Sitting at 6-5, 2 miracle wins over Tampa. They had wins over Dallas, Carolina, and New Orleans. 1 quality win. And that was over Philly when the Eagles were at their worst. I don't trust their offense and certainly don't think they hit 24 in this spot. Cousins is 20th in QBR, 9 picks, offense 16th in scoring. And look, they don't play to their strengths, right? They don't play to their talent. They're 20th in rushing attempts. How are you not feeding Bijan? He should be the staple of this offense, but instead they're relying on Kirk Cousins. And just ask the Minnesota Vikings how that went. You can ask the them Redskins how that went. And look, though it hasn't looked that good the last 2 weeks, the Chargers defense is still elite. 4th in scoring, top 10 against the pass, 5-0 last 5 against Atlanta in Atlanta. Give me the Bolts, give me the Chargers in a bounce back spot.
Steelers versus Bengals.
Cincinnati's laying 2.5. The total here is at 48. So do you hear it? Are you listening? The line is telling you a story, and it says to take the Bengals. Listen, with Mike Tomlin's record as a road dog, with the Steelers' dominance of the Bengals, with the recency bias of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the season they're having against what the Bengals are doing, are you listening? In no world does this make sense. No way the Bengals should be chalking this spot, yet they are. And look, I'm not going to give you numbers to back this play because there aren't any. There's nothing that supports this. I am simply playing a point spread. I am simply playing a line. I am simply telling me what the market is doing in this game, what Vegas is doing in this game. And look, if I get trapped, they can have my fucking money. You don't have to tail me. You don't have to tail any of my games. But I am playing the number here. This is a Cincinnati Bengals spot. Hooday, Ohio.
Cardinals versus Vikings.
Minnesota's laying 3.5. The total's at 45. Money coming in on the Vikings as expected, dropped the point. I think this game could get close late down the stretch of the game. The Vikings have cooled off a bit, but they've dominated in one category all season. That's in the first half. 7-3-1 in the first half this year. We cashed with them last week early. We took the Vikings in the first half. I like it more this week. Vikings margins are just scary good. They score 14, give up 7. Second in the league in opponent points allowed in the first half. And remember, Kyler Murray freezes when confused, and no one blitzes more than Brian Flores. 40% of all dropbacks. So expect the Vikings to throw the sink at Murray. Cardinals were hot, but were they? They beat the Jets, the Bears, and the Dolphins. But that was Tua's first game back. Now he has to face this Vikings defense. Everything Arizona does well on offense, the Vikings do better on defense. First in rush yards, first in yards per attempt, third in sacks, first in interceptions. Give me the Vikings early. Give me the Vikings often. We're taking the Minnesota Vikings in the first half.
J.A. Cavalier's Pro Football Triple Crown. 3 NFL games for this Sunday. 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays, 1 week, $99. His Pro Football Triple Crown must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. J.A. Cavalier's Pro Football Triple Crown. Link in the description below. Click the link now and jump on the money train.
Colts versus Patriots.
Colts are laying 3. The total here is at 42.5. Guys, I have a really hard time backing the Colts, so I'm not backing the Colts. They scored 6 points last week, lost 4 or 5 games. Anthony Richardson is an absolute disaster. His last 4 games, 2 touchdowns. He's thrown for under 200 in 3 of those 4 games. I don't love the Patriots, but the number screams New England. And I have these 2 teams evenly matched. In fact, I'd give the nod to Drake May over Anthony Richardson. 200 plus in 3 or 4 games, a touchdown in 4 straight. Now you're giving me points at home. I have to take it. Patriots are 7-1 straight up at home and 5-1 against the spread versus the Colts. Give me New England in this spot.
Seahawks versus Jets.
Seahawks are laying 2.5. The total here is at 41.5. So a little wise action now coming in on New York. I get it. The comments are going to come for me. Drop a little bit of hate below, guys, because I hate myself for this pick. But I'm taking the Jets. Listen, I've been hating on New York, which feels like all season. This just feels like the right spot. They've been out of sight, out of mind, coming off of a bye, and I like them getting points at home. Seattle's played 2 straight brutal games, 2 divisional games, games that matter. 1 versus San Francisco and another versus Arizona. This is a sleepy spot. Early kickoff, traveling West Coast to East Coast. Seattle has struggled in this spot, and they've struggled offensively. 20 or less points in 4 straight games. For as bad as New York's offense is, it really hasn't been that bad defensively. 8th in yards allowed, 2nd against the pass. Seattle throws more than anyone in the league. New York is 1st in completions per game. Top 10 in yards per attempt. Rodgers should be able to limp this offense to 21. Give me the Jets. And I know. No, guys, I know. It's the fucking Jets. But we're taking the Jets this week. Let's go. Jets, Jets. We're back in Punchy and his squad.
Titans versus Commanders.
Washington's laying 5.5. The total here is at 44.5. I mean, guys, is this really where we are? Are we here? Is this really where we are? We really making the Titans less than a touchdown dog in this spot? Are we actually selling all of our Jaden Daniels stock? Not me. Commanders are 6-3-1 against the spread. Washington, brutal schedule. They had to play the Ravens, the Steelers, the Eagles. Crazy ending to last week's game. But look, if your offense is struggling, is there anyone else you would rather see on the other sideline than the Tennessee Titans right now, than Will Levis right now? Give me the Commanders. I am expecting an absolute rout in this game. Give me the Washington Commanders to win by double digits, so they'll easily cover this margin. And I don't care what the contrarians on YouTube are saying. Stop it. Commanders are going to smoke this team this week.
Texans versus Jaguars.
Houston's laying 5. The total here is at 43. Look, the spread isn't huge here, but that's what happens when you lose to the Titans. Is it an overreaction? True, but more of a combination. Losing to Tennessee and also Trevor Lawrence returning. But remember, they were trash with Trevor. And look, I get it. CJ Stroud has looked awful. I got smoked with Houston last week, but this is the perfect bounce back spot. Jaguars have lost 4 straight games. Their entire coaching staff is going to be fired. 26th in total DVOA. Defense is ranked dead last. Offense ranked 30th. So they do nothing well. Houston struggled last week, but their defense is still 5th in the NFL. And if you're Trevor Lawrence, is this really the game you want to return for? He's 2-5 against the Texans. And those were some bad Houston teams. Now he gets to face Anderson and Daniel Hunter. Good luck, sunshine. Give me Houston.
Tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling.
Rams versus Saints.
Rams are laying 3. The total here is at 49ers at 49. Money coming in on the under, but I actually like the over in this spot. With Kupp and Nakua back, the offense has been more fluent, right? 26 or more in 3 of their last 5 games. The overs hit 2 straight for LA. 7 of the last 10 on the road. 2 of 3 for New Orleans as well. Nothing changes here. In this series, the over is 6-2, the last 8 in the Bayou. New Orleans well rested, coming off a bye, chance to rest. Rams gave up 37 to the Eagles. In that game, Saquon set Eagles rushing records, going for 255 yards. Saints come in with a top 10 rushing team. So Alvin Kamara must be licking his chops. And the last time out, Saints put up 35, 214 of which came on the ground. 3 rushing touchdowns. The Saints defensively, well, they're always in the spirit of giving. 30th in yards allowed, 20th in points allowed. So I'm going to expect points. When these two teams meet, there are always points. Give me the over the posted total.
Buccaneers versus Panthers.
Bucks are laying 6. The total here is at 46.5. And look, guys, it took a game against fucking Tommy Cold Cutlets and the New York Giants. Lack of offense for Tampa to actually find the defense. But I actually said that was going to happen on this show, so we took the under and the undercast. Look, it's temporary. This week, back to business as usual. 5 games prior to the Giants, teams were averaging 37 points a game versus Tampa. Their defense is 29th in yards allowed, 24th in points allowed. Panthers look like new money. I was impressed with what they did last week, taking on the Chiefs. I mean, they should have won that game outright. They scored 27 against what's a good defense. Bryce Young looks more comfortable. Chuba Hubbard is an absolute animal. 4 touchdowns in his last 3 games. Look, we know Tampa's going to score, right? Now that Mike Evans is back, their run game is even better. Their run game, which was already 4th best in yards per rush, is going to get better with a top-notch receiver. Both teams trend to the over as is. 6 of 7 for the Bucs in the last 8, 7 of Carolina's last 10, and 4 of the Panthers' last 5 at home. Stay the course, trust the trends, take the over.
Eagles versus Ravens.
Baltimore laying 3. The total here is at 51.5. Obviously, this is going to be the game of the week. Tickets all over the Eagles, money on the Ravens. So we always follow the money. I'm on the Ravens. But I actually like the over even more. I know everyone's on the over, but you kind of have to take the over. 2nd and 7th best scoring offenses. Philly's been lights out, and they've been lighting it up. 26-plus points in 6 straight games. 30-plus points in 3 of those. Credit to Nick Sirianni, who I fucking hate, but you got to give him credit. He figured it out. And it's pretty hard not to when you have Saquon Barkley. Saquon is having a historic year, 255 yards last week, Eagles single-game rushing record, over 100 yards rushing in 5 of the last 6. Good luck, Baltimore's defense this week. 25th in yards allowed, 23rd in scoring. But same could be said for Baltimore. They faced a good Chargers defense last week, still put up 30 points. And as Saquon does for the Eagles, so does Derrick Henry do for the Ravens. King Henry went for $144. So this may be just a case of anything you could do, I could do better. Back and forth between Saquon and Derrick, regardless. Grab your popcorn. This is going to be fun to watch. It's simple. Just bet the over.
49ers versus Bills.
Buffalo's laying 7. The totals here is at 44.5. Look, San Francisco can no longer be trusted. And I actually mean that. With or without Brock Purdy, I don't trust them. Now you're coming into Buffalo, national television, snow game, and this is fresh off your worst loss since 2018. Brandon Allen was awful. 49ers had 9 penalties. They're turning the ball over consistently. Don't overcomplicate this. 49ers team total under 18.5. They've scored 20 or less in back-to-back games. Christian McCaffrey looks like a mere shell of himself. Shanahan refuses to use Jordan Mason, which makes no sense. All the guy did was run for 600-plus yards in CMC's absence, and now he can't see the field. 12 carries last 4 games. Debo looks fat and slow. 1 touchdown all season. Outside the top 40 in yards, in receptions, yards per catch. Their offensive line is just basically offensive. Penalty after penalty. Racked up 9 last week. And penalties kill drives. Not to mention, they're facing an underrated Buffalo defense. A defense that's 7th in scoring, 4th in interceptions. Expect the Bills to control possession, control the clock. The bad weather and bad Niners offense is going to do the rest. 49ers team total under 18.5.
J.A. Cavaliers Pro Football Triple Crown. 3 NFL games for this Sunday. 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays, 1 week, $99. His Pro Football Triple Crown must go 3-0 or the entire NFL season is free. J.A. Cavalier's Pro Football Triple Crown. Link in the description below. Click the link now and jump on the money train.
That's right. Get to ylose.com. That's the letter Y, LOSE.com. Free picks, stats, trends, scores, odds, and more. That's ylose.com. And look, guys, we are on absolute fire in the NFL right now. 10 straight at the time of recording. NFL members have hit 10 straight in the NFL. We've hit 6 Triple Crowns this season. We've swept the board in our Triple Crown 6 times this season. That's half the season. That's next to impossible to do. Nobody's doing it better. No one's performing at a higher level than we are right now. Pick up this week's Triple Crown. 3 max bets, 3 straight, 3 two-team parlays. Must go 6-0 or the entire NFL season is free. Pick up this week's NFL Triple Crown. Link in the description below. Well, that's it for me, J.A. Cavalier, on this year's Thanksgiving episode. Wishing you and your family a very happy and healthy Thanksgiving and holiday season. We'll be back here next week with NFL Week 14. But until then, remember, yesterday's a memory. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. You're alive right now. You're here. Let's make it count.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my life.